Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this video lecture series in which we are talking about neural networks and deep learning. So in the previous video lecture, what we have seen is what a computation graph is, and further we have also seen by using an example that how forward propagation step can be applied to a computation graph. So let us look at this example again. As we have already seen in the previous video lecture that the forward propagation step can be used in a computation graph in order to calculate the final output of the computation graph. And further, if we use the backward propagation step, then this backward propagation or the backward pass can be used to compute the derivative or the gradient of this cost function. Okay, so now let us look at this example. Here we have the value of ABC as 3, 5, and 2, the value of U as 6, the value of V as 11, and the value of J, that is the final output, as 33. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find the derivative, and in the derivative we need to find dV upon D. Oh, sorry, we need to find dj upon dv. Okay, so basically what this represent is that we need to find the change in the value of j with respect to change in the value of v. So how we will do this? Suppose we have the initial values of v as we have the initial value of v as 11. Also, one thing to note here is that j is a function that is represented in the form of v as j equal to 3 times of v, and we have the initial value of v as 11, and if we apply the v equal to 11, then the value of j here will become 33. Okay, now if we increment the value of v by a very small value, so let's say it is 0.001, so 11 will become 11.00 will 11.001, and if it is 11.001, then the value of j is 3 into 11.001, and that is equal to 33.003. So finally, what amount of change in j can we observe is if there is a small change in the value of v. So it is 0.003 whole upon 0.001, and that is equal to 3. So the slope of this function came out to be 3. Okay, the slope, that is the rate of change of j whole upon rate of change in v, that is equal to 3. Also, if you need to find the slope using derivative, you can apply the derivation also. So here we have, suppose f of a equals to 3a. This is the example that we have taken in the previous videos. And if you want to find the slope, then what you do, d of a of f of a, and that is equal to 3. Okay, because the derivation of 3a with respect to a is 3. Now similarly you can do here also. What we can do here, we can do the derivative of dj upon dv equals to d of dv of 3v, and that is equal to 3. So by applying the formula also, derivative came out to be 3, that is the slope is 3. Okay, now let us take a look at another example where we need to find dj whole upon dA, that is rate of change of j with respect to rate of change in a. What will be the change in the value of j if we have a very small change in the value of a? So now let us look at the basic method through which we are solving. If we suppose take the initial value of a as 5, as we have already taken in the example, and if we have initial value of a equal to 5, then using this initial value we have the value of v as a plus u, that is 5 plus 6, and it is equal to 11. And if we have the value of v equal to 11, then with this values of a and v, the value of j comes out to be 33. Okay, now suppose we do a small increment in the value of a, that is an increment of 0.001. So the value of a now becomes 5.001, and the value of v will then become, suppose we are incrementing it to 5.001. So here the value of u is constant as it is, that is 6. So 5.001 plus 6, that will be 11.001. Okay, and if the value of v is 11.001, then the value of j will be 33.003. So now we need to find that what is the change in j if we have some change in a. So the change in j is 0.003, and the change in a is 0.001. So the slope came out to be 3 in this case also. Okay, so this came out to be 3. Okay, also what we can see here, basically the change is getting transferred. Suppose we have some change in a, so according to this change will be reflected in the value of v, and ultimately if we have some change in the value of v, okay, so this would be reflected in the value of j. So ultimately what we are saying, that the derivative is transferring from right hand side to the left hand side, and ultimately this is the function of the computation graph, as when it moves from right to left to right, when the computation graph moves from left to right, then this brings us to the final output, and if it moves from right to left, then it gives us the gradient of the computation graph or the derivative of the computation graph. Also one thing to notice here, that this can be represented as dv, and this can be represented as dA. Okay, so this is the notation that we are following in this video lecture and the further ones also. Also one thing to notice here, that one way how we can find the value of dj upon dA is that basically dj upon dA can be calculated as dj upon dv into dv upon dA. So it is basically the multiplicative combination of dj upon dv and dv upon dA. Because what is dj upon dv, we have already calculated earlier, the value of this is 3. And what is dv upon dA? Suppose we need to find dv upon dA, so what it will be, 0.001 upon 0.001, so it will be equal to 1. Okay, so 3 into 1, that will be equal to 3 again. So in this way also you can find this derivative dj upon dA. Okay, and suppose that if we are writing this notation like dv and dA, so what this dv will represent, it will represent the derivative of the final function j with respect to the intermediate variable v. Okay, and what dA will represent, dA will represent the derivative of the final output j with respect to the intermediate variable, that is a. Okay, so these notations have to be very seriously kept in mind, because the further video lectures would follow these notations only. And what here we mean by the intermediate variables is that the variables a, b, c, u, v, here are the intermediate variables. Okay, so now let us take into consideration some more examples so that we can understand these concepts in a much better way. Let us first clean this screen so these are quite easily visible to you. Now again we are taking the same computation graph. Now what you need to do in this computation graph, you need to find a very new derivative, and this derivative is dj upon du. So you need to find the rate of change of j with respect to the intermediate variable u. Okay, so this will be represented here. You need to find this. Okay, so how you will do here, you have the initial value of variable intermediate variable u as 6. If you have the value of u as 6, So what you can find the value of v, the value of v will be 11 because it is 5 plus 6 equal to 11, and then the final variable j will be equal to 33. Now if you bring about a very little change in the value of z by 001, so it will become 6.001. And if you bring this much change in the value of u, so the value of v will now become 11.001. Why? Because we have only incremented the value of u, and the value of u here is 6.001, but the value of a is 5. So 5 plus 6.001, it is 11.001. So if v is 11.001, then when it is multiplied by 3, j becomes 33.003. So what is change in j with respect to u? 0.003 upon 0.001. That is equal to 3. So derivative came out to be equal to 3. And how this can be represented as a chain form? dj upon dv into dv upon du. So basically what we are doing, we are firstly finding the rate of change of j with respect to v and rate of change of v with respect to u, and we are multiplying the outcomes of both these. So what it will be, dj upon dv, we have already found out earlier what it was. dj upon dv was equal to 3. You can take from these two equations also. And what is dv upon du? dv upon du equal to 1, and that comes out to be equal to 3. So using this chain rule also, you can find the derivative of this function. Okay, so what we have finally got the value of du as equal to 3. What was dv? dv was dj upon dv, and its value was equal to 3. Okay, and what was dA? dA was dj upon dA, and the value of dA was, you can find from here, it is also equal to 3. Okay, so write here as 3. Okay, so now let us take into consideration next example, and suppose that this is the last example. I'll give one example as an homework to you. We have this example as a derivative of dj upon db. Okay, we need to find the value of this derivative. So we need to find the derivative of j with respect to the intermediate variable v. So now the initial value of the intermediate variable b here is 3, and if we have the intermediate variable b as 3, we have the value of u as b into c, and that is equal to 2 into 3, that is equal to 6. Okay, and if u equal to 6, then we have v equal to 6 plus 5, that is equal to 11, and if v equal to 11, then we have the value of j as 33. Now suppose we do a small increment in the value of b to 0.001, so it will become 3.001, and the value of u will come out to be b into c, that is 3 into 2.0 3.001 into 2, that is 6.002. Okay, I'm writing correct. And now v will become 6.002 plus 5, that is 11.002, and the final value of j will be 11.002 into 3 equals to 33.006. So what is the change in the value of j with respect to b? It is 0.006 upon 0.001. So the derivative came out to be 6. So its value is 6. So what dB came out to be? dB came out to be 6. Okay, so what this indicates, that if you increment the value of b to 0.001, then the value of j will increment by 0.006. Or if you do one time increment in the value of b, so the value of j will change to 6 times. Okay, this is the value of b and this is j. Okay, so this can be learned from this derivative. Okay, so I hope this much concept would have been very much clear to you all. Suppose that if you have any doubt in whatever equations I have written, you can again watch this video lecture, you can play again this video lecture, and again if you encounter any doubt, then you can write me in the comment section given below. Also, there is one Google form uploaded in the description of this video, so you can fill that description form. Remember to write the name of the video lecture very correctly in which you are encountering any doubt. So thanks for watching this video lecture. I hope this video lecture would have been very much informative to you. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and share this YouTube channel and videos to your friends also who are working in this domain of neural networks and deep learning. Thank you once again.